What is up, adventurers? I hope you are excited as I am for this next segment of my DIY fantasy flip. I am on my way to my new house right now. We closed yesterday. It is ours! We did it! So the next steps is to get there and hit the ground running, start painting the interior walls before we move in. I have a little over a week to get this place into shape before we move in. It's gonna be tough, it's gonna be a time crunch. It's a whole lot of house to paint. And it takes 12 hours for this lime wash to dry. So, the plan is to just lay down the first coat on all the walls and into the hallways, the dining room. My God, I don't know how I'm gonna get it all done. Get it all done. Get it all done. I'm excited to get started on this. You guys are coming with me. We're doing this. Let's go!
When tackling a project of this size, it's really important to make a list of all the materials you're going to need and have them accounted for before you start. Let's just say I've had my fair share of mistakes along the way. Also, the second most important thing you don't want to forget, at least it's something I know that I can't live without, music. The first thing you want to start doing is prep work. You want to prep the entire area you're going to be painting. And I can't stress this enough, you need to take your time. Because if you do a sloppy prep, you're going to pay for it in the long run by going back and correcting any mistakes you made. Depending on the size of your project, make sure you have plenty of paper tape and plenty of builder's paper. And plenty of dance moves. Okay, so we are very close to being done prepping just this section right here. I'm actually going to get started lime washing today. So if you've never seen this thing before, it's not a magic wand. It's also not a cotton candy thing. What it is a little mixer. You're able to connect it to your drill. You just stick it in the bucket, go nuts, mixes all your paint up. Full of a toque. The color of this paint is called Sumatra. And the brand is Vasari. Damn, that looks dark as all get out. It's got a distinct smell to it. So how this is supposed to work is I'm going to be using this masonry brush and I'm going to be doing these X patterns all over this wall. And once you start, you cannot stop until you're done with that one section of wall. Otherwise you will see different sort of colors where you had stopped and started. So they say to just keep on going until you're done and you've hit like a corner or a section of the wall that just stops. One quick tip that a lot of people won't tell you in painting videos is always have a cloth ready. I like to use microfiber. You can use t-shirt material. You can grab boxes of it at your local department store. But yeah, get it a little bit damp and just keep it in your back pocket because you're gonna end up getting spots here and there that might touch places you don't want them to touch. And you just take this, wipe it right off, keep on going. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried. This thing looks like or on my wall. I hope that it dries into the color it's supposed to be. Everybody says just trust the process, so that's what I'm going to do. I hope. It might be alarming, but give it time. It will turn the proper color. Oh my God, you guys, look, 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 look. It's happening, it's happening. It doesn't look like I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this was such a tedious process. It's not like rolling paint on a wall, super fast and you're done. It's more like sword fighting, but against a wall. Because I know something you don't know. I am not left-handed. One must never go into battle without his trusty shield. The paint shield was to keep from getting paint on the ceiling while still doing the crisscross pattern. You missed a spot.
I know I missed a spot. Give me a second, would you?
Ah, yes. Another good practice after a day's work is to perform the traditional tribal dance of victory.
It's day 2, morning. I have electricians coming over to do some work, and then a guy doing plumbing stuff that needs to be fixed before we move in. I'm not gonna lie, I am seriously exhausted from day 1. This is not for the faint of heart, folks. I like to think that I'm someone who keeps in shape, but this is a different workout altogether. It's like it's okay to rest. You need to tell yourself that it is okay to take a break when you're doing something that you don't normally do. There's nothing wrong with you. But I did underestimate the amount of physicality that goes into limewashing walls. Wish me some luck. This is all that there is. It's smooth sailing from here.
You'll notice I'm starting to tape the ceilings. That's because using the paint shield, even though it was effective, was extremely exhausting on my arms and shoulders. Because I was so exhausted the next day after, I was looking for ways to just save my strength, and this little trick made a huge difference. Oh, and before I forget to mention, I also didn't have to prime my walls because it goes on great with interior paint. And if you made it this far, you should subscribe.
And now it's time for the best part.
You guys, the walls look amazing. I love this. I'm so freaking, they look like how I wanted them to look. And I did not expect it to be perfect, but it is. Sorry, my brain is like in overload mode right now. So it's Thursday. I have a few more days left to finish this place. I didn't think I would get all the walls done in time, but I did. The only thing I didn't finish was my dining room and my kitchen, but that's okay. I got the living room done and I have a little bit more time, so I'm gonna try and tackle the trim. Now the trim is a tricky part, okay, because I have to sand it all down because it's all a high gloss material. This white stuff you see down here, it's like super high gloss, and you can't just slather paint on that because it won't really stay as well. So I need to go through with a hex sander and sand the hell out of it, get it feeling nice and flat, and then I can start painting the color on top of it. Now, I'm going with the natural cork color that I talked about in my last video in episode 1 of the DIY Fantasy Flip. If you haven't seen it, the link is in the description below, or you can find it here. You good? Did you find it? Did you see it? You're back here? Great. So now the next step is to paint that color on all the baseboards, and it's actually quite a good match. I tested it on a little piece, and I mean, it's phenomenal. It looks just like the base color of the wood. It looks really close to the color of the wood. The Fantasy gods are loving me right now. In the last episode of the DIY Fantasy Flip, I talked about using a gel stain. Well, I'm going to change that up because the fumes were just so intense, and I don't want to do that when my dog is in the house or anybody else is in the house. It's something you do when you can have everybody cleared out, you're wearing a respirator, windows open, etc. So what I'm doing is I'm switching over to a glaze. I found this on the internet. It does the exact same thing that the gel stain does, but it's actually an acrylic paint, so it doesn't smell really bad. It dries much faster because that oil-based stain, it takes days, all right? It took like a week to dry out. So that's what we're doing. I want to take a quick second to talk about this trim puller removal multi-tool that I got on Amazon. It is an absolute lifesaver. It is designed to wedge itself in between the trim and keep your drywall intact so that if you use like a regular pry bar, you're basically gonna damage what's behind it. This tool just keeps everything flush as it pops the trim off, and it was awesome. So here's another pro tip for you guys. When you're putting your trim back on, if you had a lighter color than what you were trying to turn it into, like wood here, for instance, mine was a high gloss white paint. Some of the corner round that you pull off, there's like some white paint right there that will show up against the baseboard. So in order to avoid that catastrophe of having this sort of weird white line in between your corner round and your baseboard, just use a little hex sander. I just basically go up on it, right on the corner, and I'm going towards the back side. It gets rid of all that little excess paint that was stuck on the corner round. And when I put it on, it'll be seamless. So, one fun fact, I'm at the stage of finally putting back my corner round, and I forgot my brad nailer. And for those of you folks who don't know what a brad nailer is, it's what you use to nail in this stuff. I have to go back to the house to grab it. Okay, this is a brad nailer. Let's do this. Ugh. I forgot the batteries! Ah! Okay, batteries, check. Let's do this thing. You're going down, corner round. Take that. This is fun. After slightly losing my mind and doing one final victory dance, it was finally time to hit a stopping point and get moved in and allow my wife and daughter to see the new look for the first time. All right, so this is the first time Joe and Arwen are going to see the inside now that it's all been done up. So we're gonna record their reactions, and I hope they love it because I love it. Feast your eyes.
Whoa. Ooh, I love the brown. Oh, it came out so good. Oh, it's so pretty.
You think so? You like it?
I like it. It looks great.
I love this wall right here. Isn't it cool?
It's so pretty. The brown came out wonderful.
Oh, you're talking about the trim? Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like a hobbit hole.
It feels so different.
Yeah. It's way different, right?
It was like colder before. Like this is like cozy house.
And I think you're right. The Erebor at the top of the fireplace is kind of perfect. So that was, yeah.
This is it looks so good.
Yeah.
You're right. The color on the brown is great.
Next is the dining area. We're going to paint that a green lime wash. That's why it's still kind of set up, so. And then it'll go all the way into the kitchen.
It looks so good. Even like yours.
Yeah, right?
It's like a big difference. It's making the wood look like richer.
Yeah.
It's like awesome.
It's like, it fits us,
Very much so.
so.
It's like awesome.
Is you happy?
I'm happy.
Thank you guys for going with me on this journey. I can't wait to show you more in the next episode of the DIY Fantasy Flip. Yes, I have a third episode to drop, so stay tuned. I can't wait to see you on the next one.